Hello, hello, hello. Is this thing on? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Live on Saturday night is Bose 831 Gaming. Live on Twitch. And again, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. I hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. And we're once again live on Twitch. We're playing Farming Simulator 22, and this is the continuation of my Twitch live stream series on Farming Simulator 22 on Twitch. And we're just going to jump right in. We're picking up right from where we left off on the last live stream. I had just finished running the roller over my cornfield, and we got that wrapped up, and we were in the process of mowing my grass field, and we're gonna hop in and turn the worker loose. Where we at? Okay, what? Alright, the workers are obviously having a fit of stupidity right now, so alright, let's lower them more, turn it on. Apparently the worker can't sense when he's on a field. Okay. Alright, there we go. But again, if you're just tuning in, I want to welcome everyone aboard, and I hope everything has been going well for everyone today or tonight, or whatever the time may be where you're at in your corner of the world. But we're still on day 2 in April, and we just had a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of stuff here we need to get done before we can advance into the next day and into the month of May. And looking at my current supplies right now, I think what I will do on this field is we will wait a minute, did I? We will looks like I made a mistake. I was just noticing that somehow it looks like the game saved in a state that I did not intend to save. Alright. Just lost my train of thought there for a moment. Alright. Looks like I made a huge mistake in some of my off-camera work that I just noticed, and I hope that is not the case, and I'm just seeing things in the background, but we'll find out in just a second. If not, I'm going to have my work cut out for me tonight, because I thought I did not save the game when I was testing some changes to the farm off camera, but it already from what I can see in the background, looks like I made a huge mistake in my testing, off-camera testing. But I'll get into that in just a moment. I just want to try to go ahead and finish up what I'm trying to do on the grass field. Alright. But we're done with the Massey Ferguson for the moment, so let me just go ahead and park that over to the side. And then let me quickly go hop over to my other section of the farm and see what I have going on there. Okay. Okay. And we're good. Okay. My sheds are still there. Ooh, that was a close one. Because as I was looking in the background, it looked like the sheds weren't there, but I guess the game just didn't draw them in the background. Okay. All right. I've been trying to do some work and try to see if I could smooth out some of the transitions in this area because as we talked about on the last live stream, the terrain editing tools and Simulator 22 can be a bit of a pain to manipulate to try to produce the results that you're looking for a lot of times. I know some players have gotten to be pretty good with the tools, but so far I haven't not achieved that level yet of success yet utilizing the tools in the game. So I continue to do some more practice off stream to see if I can improve my skill set with those tools, but so far I haven't been able to produce the desired results in most cases that I'm looking for because I haven't figured out. I've done some some off-screen testing, trying to see if I can smooth this terrain out and produce some better results. And my testing has been very inconsistent, and I've not been able to do much with the terrain editing tools. So for right now, we just leave this for the most part as it is, and it's just going to be pretty bumpy around here. I don't like it, but it's kind of what I'm stuck with right now. Alright. And let's see. Not quite sure. What is the worker doing here now? Okay. He just wanted to go for a little extra joy ride, I guess. Alright, so looks like he lowered some more. Looks like he missed a few spots here and there, so we're going to go ahead and touch up those spots where he missed a few things here and there. I don't know why he missed so many major areas, but we're going to go ahead and touch that up right now. And sometimes working with the game's AI with the workers can also be hit or miss. Alright. And we're just going to run through the field one more time and make sure that I touch up any areas that the worker might have missed, which seems to be quite a few here and there. We're just going to go ahead and touch all of that up. Run down the side. Alright. Yeah, next step in the process, because what I was about to say before I lost my train of thought previously, is this cycle of grass work, I think we're going to work on producing hay, and then the next cycle we'll probably work on producing silage. Grass that I produce for my sheep is okay. I don't know why that area there is showing as plowed over. That's interesting. Alright, so I'm gonna have to look at that too. I don't know what's going on there. So one of the things I might do just to kind of also start over with this field, but I do that in the winter seasons, is just go ahead and plow this field over, because we need to produce some better results with this field as far as our precision farming is concerned too. So I gotta brainstorm on that and see what's the proper course of action I want to do with how I want to work this field in the future as well. But for right now, we'll leave it as is. But I definitely am going to have to change the way I work this field so that we can produce some better results as far as the precision farming DLC is concerned here. Because like if we go take a look at it now, you kind of see what I'm talking about. Let me show you what I'm referencing here. Like if we go and look at it now, it's about 95. We should be able to get that up to 99, but for whatever reason our tillage score is taking a big hit on this field. So what I may need to do is just come back in and plow it, and then direct drill, plant grass back in here, and see if that will give my tillage score a bump, because we get all the other areas we seem to be good in, but it's just that tillage score that's for whatever reason is being a little wonky. Alright, so we got the grass mowed, so we don't need the mower anymore right now. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the mower off right now. So the next thing we want to do is, since we're working on producing hay this time, we're going to need to ted the grass. And we already have the tedder released. I just got to remember where I placed it at. I think I left it at the shop. Yeah, it's still at the shop. So we're going to go to the shop and grab the tedder, and then we're going to ted the grass we just mowed. And then after we ted, we're going to come back and windrow. And then finally we'll bale the grass. Except we don't want to, when we bale the grass, we want to make sure that we don't wrap it. We just want to bale it. But by tedding the grass, that actually turns it into hay, so the baler will automatically know, if I use the fast baler, that the bales that I'm creating will be hay bales instead of grass bales. Alright, so we're back at the shop, and we're picking up a tedder, and the tedder I'm using is a Kubota TE8590, and that's part of the, well actually I can show you in the game menu. Let's go. Let's do it from the mods and DLC. And this one is not part of the Kubota pack, it's actually part of the, where is it at? If I can find it. Alright, where am I? Okay, now I'm having trouble finding it in the menu, so I may have to go. It's part of the Kubota equipment pack. And where is it? There it is, the TE8590. And again, that's a part of the Kubota equipment pack. And that's a mod that you can get from the in-game mod hub. And my apologies for the background noise that you may have been hearing earlier in the live stream. Okay, what am I doing tonight, guys? Alright, having a lot of trouble pressing buttons tonight for whatever reason. Alright, so we're going back to the grass field. This time we have the tedder in tow, and we're gonna ted the grass, which will turn the grass into hay. And we're using a tedder from the Kubota equipment pack, which is a DLC, but not an official paid DLC, but it's a mod from the in-game mod hub, and not a DLC. This is separate from the Kubota DLC pack. So we want to turn on the tedder. and just, since this grass is kind of on the outskirts of the field, I'm going to do this part manually. But once we get inside, then I'll probably turn on a worker so I can check on some other things that we need to take a look at while the worker's doing his thing. But the worker only understands doing work that's within the field boundaries most of the time, and the workers, for the most part, will not touch parts of the field that are outside of the field boundaries. And this grass is right on that edge, and some of it is a little bit outside of the boundaries of the field. So the worker would have issues trying to figure out what's going on there. So I'm just doing that part myself. Alright, so now I should be able to turn the worker on, and he should be, for the most part, okay. Finishing that up. And while that worker's going about his merry way on that, we're going to go ahead and grab the Massey again. And I think it's time to make some changes to the farm and a couple of pieces of equipment that I have on the farm. I'm probably going to trade in one of the tractors on the farm for a Kubota. But the only issue is that the highest horsepower Kubota that you can get is right around 200 horsepower, and every tractor I have on the farm is way more horsepower than that, except for, I think, I have the little Fendt 207 Vario, but that's for my vineyard. Actually, is there a little Kubota? I did not even check to see if there was a little vineyard size Kubota that we can play with. So let's go take a peek and see if we have a little, oh yeah, we do. Alright. So we'll start there. Alright. So first let me go take a look at my Fendt to make sure that I grab a Kubota with a similar configuration. Alright, so we'll come back to that. We'll trade the Fendt in first for a brand new shiny Kubota. We're gonna take this one to the shop so that we can get the best price for it. I could sell it through the game menu, but I won't make as much money if I sell it that way. You always get the best price on selling your equipment back to the shop if you actually take the equipment to the shop and then sell it from the shop point on your maps. So that's what we're going to do right now. And I'll pop in and check on my worker with the tedder in just a few. I'm sure he's going to miss some spots here and there because that's kind of standard with the AI workers. And just I wanted to also notice, if you notice that the dynamic billboards on the maps, they have changed to reflect the last DLC that was released, and they all are displaying ads related to that Kubota pack that was released. Alright, so here we go. So we want to go to the vehicle options from the dealer. We want to repair so we can get the best price. Also, we could repaint, and that will give you the maximum price, but the repaint prices on the game are crazy. And it's not worth paying $7,000 when if I sell it, I'm only going to get $13,000. And I only got $14,852 for the sale of that Kubota. I mean, of that Fendt. All right, so we're gonna go in the menu and we're gonna buy the little smallest Kubota that is available, and that's the little, was it M5? I think it was. Yeah, yes, the M5 series. And that's the one we're gonna put in effect on the vineyards. And what kind of options do I want in there? This one doesn't have a 3-point on the front. I noticed. I missed that, so that was an oversight. So we'll just go ahead and put a front weight on there, and we'll go ahead and give it the juiciest engine setup that we can get for it, and that puts its price up to $72. And we'll go ahead and put the best crop sensor on there, and we'll go ahead and change the license plate to a design of our choosing. And let's go with type 2, because those are 2 options. And I need to move the cursor. And we shall, actually, let's do this. And we shall utilize a variation of the usual. BOSAY 8310. And we'll just do the back only. Okay. And that's gonna set us back 81,000. Oh, wait a minute. What are the options on the tire? It's Bergstein and Trailborg. So we'll just buy it 87,000. And so that will be, let's see, that worker, it's almost about to be done over there. So this is going to be our new vineyard tractor. Though I'm not super crazy about not having a front hitch on this one. Now we're going to take this back to the farm. Because before I finish all my farm field work today, I do want to check on my grape vineyard as well to see if there's any field work that I need to do in my vineyard as well. Alrighty, we're back at the farm, and I'm going to go ahead and just park my shiny new Kubota tractor over on the side of my barn. And that's all we'll need from this one for right now. Alright, let's check on our worker. Our worker believes he's finished heading, but obviously he missed the whole strip down here, but that's because this strip is kind of outside the edge of the field, so we have to handle that one ourselves. We're going to do that manually right now. So we just go knock that out real quick. Alright, and then we lift up and just kind of... Alright, there's a big... Continue to miss spots of grass, and I hate that. We'll just make sure that there aren't any other areas that the worker missed, and there's one right there. So we're just going to circle back around and touch up some of the areas that the worker missed. Alright. Great stuff, great stuff. Alright, so that looks good. So it appears that we're done with all the tedding for right now. So we can go ahead and drop off our tedder over to the side as well. And I guess we won't need the Massey for right now, so we're going to go ahead and park the Massey. And just hop right into our McCormick and grab the fast baler. We're going to sell a fast baler as well and get a Kubota branded fast baler. Well, technically Kverlin is owned by the Kubota Corporation as well, so it's really just the same brand. I just want one with the standard Kubota skin instead of the Kverlin skin, so we're just going to go trade this one in and pick up a fresh new one from the shop. And again, what I also want to do is probably purchase a standard Kubota tractor aside from this small one that I have for the vineyard, because I want to get as much Kubota branded equipment as I can, because that's one of my favorite brands. I'm actually so excited that we have that brand in the game now. Alright, so this doesn't need repair, so I can just sell it outright. And see what I'm saying about the repaint prices? If you look down in the bottom right, repaint is $18,000. That's insane. The value for the vast bell is $68,187. So I'm going to go ahead and sell that. So this still has a very good value. And then we're going to go over to the shop. And we're going to pick up a shiny new Kubota branded fast baler. So I'm going to go to the balers. And we want to get the one on the Kubota equipment pack fast bill, and it's 110,000. And these are your options for his tires on here. We'll just keep the standard Trail Borg tires. Trail Borg. I don't know why I have trouble saying that word the first time around. Alright. And we have the options on here as to what we can have for the decals. We either have it say FB 1000 or fast bell. I'm going to opt for the fast bell this time. And these are the options on the bell colors, just to have something a little bit different. I'm going to have the foil color be a standard Kubota orange. These are the color options for the body. I'm just going to keep it the standard Kubota orange for now as well. Rims are fine with the default white as well. And we are going to modify the license plate to, this one's going to be, alright, went too far. Because I think I don't know if we're at 4 or 5, so I'm just going to put 4 on that one for that one. Okay. And we're going to buy it. Good stuff. And the next piece of equipment that we need, and this one will be a lease, is we need a windrower. And I'm going to lease the R90 rake, because that makes windrowing a lot less of a challenge. And we're going to lease that one. Alright. And we're going to hop in our McCormick. Alright, I'm going to fold the windrower so we can drive back to our field. Alright, so we have the configuration that we need for doing some fast baling work or with our hay bales. So we're going to drive back to our grass fields, and we're going to windrow and bale our hay bales. And then once we finish on our grass field, we'll check and see if there's anything we need to do on our vineyard. And then I also have some work that I need to do with my fertilizer and digestate reduction chains, I believe. And just like I did some remodeling for my cows and my pigs, I'm also considering doing some remodeling for my horse area as well, but I don't think I'll get into that today. I may do that on a different day. Alright, so we're gonna unfold the baler. So door pickup, turn on baler. And I'm gonna unfold the windrower. Lower up. Get it in the right position. Actually, let's come this way first, because I don't want it kicking product closer to the road. I actually want it to kick product closer to the field, so we want to get right here. Turn it on windrower. We're going to try to do the edges first, and then work our way inward. And since this work is a little bit tricky, I will have to do this part of it manually because the worker just won't produce the results that I want, at least for these parts of the field. Once I'm done with the edges and we're more in the central section of the field, I may turn the worker on, but definitely for the parts that I'm working on now, it's just better and easier to do manual. And I'm trying to get all of the hay that I can kind of grab up with this windrower. And the reason why I like using the rake windrower instead of some of the other ones, it covers a wider area and allows me to be a little more precise with what I'm trying to do. And since we have bales on the field right now, the worker will probably get confused and not know what to do when it sees bales in its path. So I may just have to do this whole piece manually. But I'm trying to grab up as much of the hay as I can and not try to leave any remnants on the field. There's one aspect of Farming Simulator 22 that I don't like, at least as far as the built-in seasons element of it is concerned versus FS19. It is in FS19 the leftover product would deteriorate over time, but for whatever reason, when Giants designed 22, they decided to make it where the product does not deteriorate or disappear. So if you miss any product, then it will remain on the field wherever. And I'm not happy. I'm not a big fan of that whole change. I think that I'm not quite sure what logic went into that design decision. But I think that's a gameplay element they really should have reconsidered about implementing into the game. In fact, I'd be curious to see what their thought process was on why they didn't choose to build that into the built-in version of seasons that comes out of the box with FS22. Because the thing for me is my OCD side of the brain just goes crazy when it sees little patches of product just kind of out there all on its lonesome like that, and it never goes away. It's just hard for me to not see those things when I see them out and about. Alright, so after we finish baling the hay bales, I forgot it left out. There was one other step that we need to do. We're going to need to rent a bale loader so that we can pick up all of the bales and transport them to our storage locations, which will be the sheds over by our animal pens, at least by our cows, our cow barn, and our pigsty. Yeah, I'm totally not understanding why that section of the field is doing that right there. In fact, I may even take the opportunity, I think I will, because we can plant grass all year round. We'll just go ahead and plow this whole thing over as well and replant our grass and just kind of reset this whole grass operation and see if that also will help to bring our tillage score up. We'll just go ahead and do that now after we finish our work here today. Yeah, I think that's what I do. Just kind of going through my thought process and thinking out loud here. And we're coming up on 1600 in-game time. So the day is rapidly getting away from us. So we're going to try to do as much as we can while we still have the daylight hours. Yeah, I could do night farming, but the night work doesn't seem to come through as well on the live streams as I would like. You can see what's happening, but it's a little harder to see, and there's no option in the game to adjust the lightness or darkness levels of what you see at night. I think all of those settings are actually controlled by the map. Some maps will be darker or lighter than others at night when you play the game during the night. Yeah, or at least something like that. And I don't know what's going on with me tonight. I'm just having all kind of issues spitting words out and even pushing certain buttons. I keep pushing the wrong buttons when I'm trying to do a lot of different things. Just a little off this evening, and I apologize for that, but I'll try to see if I can get better on night, but hey, it's all good. Alright, so we got one more section here to take care of, and we'll be pretty much done here. Now I want to try to scoop up this section here, and if I see any straggler sections, just as much as I can pick up. It looks like it's pretty clean. And we only got to 81% on the last bale, so there's not enough left over there to make a complete bale. Alright, so we're finished here, at least with that portion of our work. So go ahead and drop this equipment off. In fact, the lease items, I won't be using those for anything else, so I can just go ahead and return that equipment. I'm not going to be doing any more mowing, so we can go ahead and return the mowers. We're done with the tedder, and we're also done with the windrower, so I can return that. Turn out the baler, lift pickup, and fold the baler up because we're done with it. Actually, let's do maintenance first. Because we want to try to keep our equipment in the best shape possible. So we'll do maintenance after using it. Alright, and while we're here, might as well do repair work on the tractor as well. $10 on that, so not too much going on there. Alright, so we're done with our baling operation for the moment. So we can go ahead and park the baler back in the garage. Go ahead and grab my weight because I'm not going to be putting any other items on the front of the tractor for right now. So, oops. Alright, there goes my brilliant driving. I always have one moment every game. Alright, so next on the agenda is we're going to go grab a bale loader. So we're off to the shop one more time. And hop into the shop. And this time we're looking for bale loaders. And we don't need anything too crazy. I think 28 bale. Let's go one up to 32 bales. And we're going to use auto load. Oops, wrong button. Again, the fun continues, just struggling with the buttons tonight. And we'll lease that. Alright, so we got the bale loader, the PGAT 100. And this bale loader is auto load bale loader. If we were playing for realism though, we grab a tractor and we grab the front loader and use a front loader attachment with bale spikes or some version of bale spikes. And we would manually load and stack our bales on the back of the trailer. Alright. Then we're going to switch to operating position. And since we have it set to auto load, we just need to drive close enough to the bales for it to sense the bale, and it's automatically picked up. Alright, so 6 may be able to get every bale on the field onto this bale loader. Yeah, 29. We'll make sure we didn't miss any. That's 90% of the capacity. It's very well. So next we're just going to drive over here and drop them off for storage. And that'll be the end of that. Alright, I'm trying to figure out next where I want to put these in relation to the existing ones that I already have. Because this is one of those crazy swing hitch trailers, so it's going to be a little tricky trying to get it into the right position. And I forgot to also turn the auto loading off, so I picked up a few more bales, so we got all the way up to 100% now. Alright. I think the first thing we need to do is promote the remaining bales that we have to the front. So let's do this number first. Bales. Unload bills here. And reset. And this will be tricky, boys and girls, because I don't want to touch the straw. Yep. Daggum, we got straw. I should have did that. Should have did that a different way. That was not the smartest way to do it. So we're going to need to unload that load as well. So I'm going to do unload bills. Unload bills here. Just having bouts of brilliance tonight. Alright. And it's time to break out the bill spikes. Alright. And admittedly, my bill work is horrible. Probably should have used the big bag lifter. Come on, buddy. Alright, got that bill out of the way. And I'm totally making this much harder than it needed to be. As evidenced by that brilliant moment right there. Alright, so what I'm trying to do is grab a single bill or bills. Alright, just want to get that out there in the general area. That's great. Alright, got one more to grab. And of course that one. Oh, spoke too soon. But again, that's due to the bumps. Alright, we're going to drop that one off. Alright. And try to see if I can grab the straw bills out of this mix of bills. can just try to move the straw back over to the straw side. Alright. Up the straw. And rinse and repeat for the last straw bale that we have over here. And again, I continue to grab 2 for 1. Alright, but we got the hay to fall off, so I have the straw. And we're going to try to drive over here and drop that one off. It doesn't have to be perfect, we'll just get it in there somewhere. That's good. All right. And we don't need this tractor again for the moment, so we can now go back over to the McCormick. Set. Operating position. And bring this one back in. And just snap them all up until we get a full load. And then swing back around and drop this full load off in the shed. Actually, no, I'm still doing it wrong. I'm going to do the small load first and then the large load. So let's do this. Unload bales. Trying to get the direction straight. Hello, Bill's here. Reset. Operating. And pick up all the stragglers. Switch to transporting so we don't accidentally grab another bale type. And then drive back through. Then I want to do unload bales. Let's see if we can kind of straighten it up. Yeah. Alright, that's one of those goods we're gonna get. Unload bales here. And then go grab the other set. Operating position. Grab all of these bales back up. Transporting position. to swing back around and see if we can squeeze them right here in the back. Carefully. Alright, so we're going to do unload valve. Dang it. That was not the result I was looking for. It's going to have to do for right now. Yeah. So what I was trying to do, unload valves here. It's just these valves are not created with the liftable valves mod. They're going to be too heavy to snap up by hand. Let's see if I can. No, I'm definitely not going to get my tractor. Yeah, that's whoops. No, that one's in there, so I many magic with the tractor and the wheel spikes to get that out of there. Let's see. No. So it's still gonna fall off when I try to pull it through. Yeah. So. And that's a drawback to using magic bells. Alright. And since I totally don't like that, we're going to have to clean that up. Alright. We're going to have to try that one more time. Because I can't. I can't even look at that. Alright, so let's repeat this operation one more time and try to do it a little more neatly. Alright. Reset operating position. Alright. We just need to try to grab that one stupid bell that's stuck between the two buildings. But without grabbing a straw bell. This is quite the dilemma. Let me see if I can get in there. Nope, that's between the two. So, and because these this bell loader has a swing hitch, it's just harder for me to drive it precisely. Alright. I could try to come in this way, but this tractor is too big for me to come in that way and do what I'm trying to do. we're gonna have to try our best to get it in there. Coming in backwards. And with this stupid heel, this is just further adding to my challenge. And these bumpy inclines makes this way more headache. All right. Try. So drop the weight off. It's not working either. Alright. Alright, just trying a different idea out there, and that's not working for me either. If you haven't noticed by now, I am not the most patient driver. So we're just about to clean house. Grab the hitch. I'd just rather pull it all out and just eliminate the whole headache. Alright. We'll just grab them all out and I'll sort it out later. Because I have completely run out of patience, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Hello, bells. Bells here. Reset operating position. Come here, you little bastard straggler. Oh, pardon my French, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't mean for that one to slip out. Alright. So we're gonna do unload bales. Unload bales here. Reset. Come on. It's crazy. Got those two as well. Just hanging out there all by them lonesome. And unload bales. Unload bales here. And reset. And now my new challenge is trying to sort all this out. And we're gonna have to start with the straw bales first. And we just need to move all of those to the side, or at least to a different area where we can come back with the bale loader and pick those up. And now comes the fun part. Trying to sort this other collection out. And I'm going to have to try my best to separate the hay from the straw. And in case if you haven't already observed, I'm patient but not that patient. Alright, so we're off to an okay start. Hopefully I won't do anything to blow this whole process up. Alright. Let's grab these two hay and move them over to the side over here. And drop those off. Well, I guess this is a good thing to see here as well, because you're getting a glimpse into how, if you were to do the bale loading process manually, how much of a challenge it would be to a few different reasons. One being in-game physics. Although there are players who are very good at this and can do it very well, but they have patience. Something that I have some of, but not a whole lot. So far, so good. I'm not gonna jinx it. Because it's one thing to move the bales, it's another thing entirely to move them and stack them. And in the past, I have taken the time and tried to be patient and manually move bales around, only to spend hours of time neatly or attempting to neatly stack bales and having a nice stack going for some weird thing to happen with the in-game physics, and the entire stack of bales literally explode right there in front of me. And when I say explode, I literally mean they just randomly explode and just scatter everywhere like a bomb went off. I have not seen that happen in Farming Simulator 22, but that was definitely a thing in 19. Alright, but again, so far so good. But also of note, I'm not really trying to stack the bales. I really just trying to get them all congregated in a separate area over on the side, and then we'll come through and pick those up with the bale loader. Like this little up here is going to be a mess. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and pull this up right now. Come on up out of there, buddy. And again, all I want right now is just a straw. Ah. And this is not something I planned on getting into tonight too much. But when you're doing lives, you never know where things might end up going. So who knew we were going to do bale stacking and loading tutorial tonight. Although I'm sure there's some guys that may be watching and be like, okay, I need to provide you with a tutorial. And I get it, like there's some pros out there that can really handle doing this bale work, but I'm not quite there yet. Even though I've had some extensive practice, but again, more so in 19 than 22. The physics in 22 do seem to be much more forgiving than they were in 19. At least when it comes to bale handling. There's still a lot of trickiness and quirkiness to it, though. And I did try a little bit of forestry in 22, but that was early, and My early results were very bug-ridden. I don't know if that's changed, but I'm not a person that does a lot of forestry in 22, so I'm not the expert on how forestry is working in 22 right now. But maybe if some of you forestry players are in the watching this and can comment on that, we're gonna join the conversation. But my early experience was not that great, and it kind of turned me off doing forestry in 22. And at first there wasn't that much big time forestry equipment available in the game either, but there is now, so that experience could be very much different. So far in 22, I haven't touched woodwork that much at all, because those early experiences were just not that great. I did do a pretty decent amount of forestry work in 19 and that was in part because I did a lot of work changing around and creating fields. And oftentimes that would involve doing a lot of forestry before I could even get to creating whatever field I was trying to create or modify. We're not doing terribly bad here. Let's just say taking up a lot of time doing something that I didn't really anticipate I would be doing tonight. I'm not going to say plan for, because most of these lives I just come right in and kind of freestyle and haven't been planning them out. But I may start in the future going through and actually creating more of a concrete plan on what I want to do each and every time we come in. But this is still my first series, and for me this is kind of like a tutorial series for me as well as for you. We're actually learning and growing together, and that's something I've also said on previous streams. You know, we're all kind of trying to learn and grow, and have fun all at the same time as we do it, and do it all together, enjoying this game that we love, in Farming Simulator 22. Again, I have some other games that I do love, and I want to get into doing some other series on those as well. And if you have any other games that you would like to see me play, you know, drop something in the chat. Let me know. And if it's something I'm into, you may give it a go. You never know. And some other games that I play, and I've indicated in my profile, I play Red Dead Redemption Online, although I haven't touched that in a while because it seems like Rockstar hasn't really been supporting that the way that it should be supported, so I haven't been doing much on that as of late. Also played this cool space strategy game called Stellaris. Again, that's another one I haven't touched in a while. You know, my collection of games is pretty eclectic. You know, I'm also a sports gamer, so I do have a few sports games that I'm into. I'm on Xbox. You know, one of the things I'm really happy about is that Xbox finally got a real baseball game, even though it's a Sony studio created game, and the show series. And I play that a little bit here and there, but I'm not that great at that one. I play NBA 2K. Also not that great at that one, but to me, I don't know what they did to the game, because I'm not player that's really that great on the sticks and all that stuff. I've been playing video games all my life, but to say that I'm super good at certain games, especially games that require a lot of stick work, I'm not that guy. I play games for fun, but I'm not the button pushing joystick type of guy either. I'm pretty decent at a lot of games, depending on what the game is, but I'm not that guy that's just like a maestro on the sticks, if you will. So 2K22 has, the way the game changed this year is it's more built for those hardcore players or players that's good on the stick. Because the thing that's changed for me is this year is I always try to play the my player version. The created my player portion of the game. That's the game I generally enjoy playing, creating my player and taking them to a career. But this year, I don't know what they did to it, but it's the hardest it's ever been for having a my player that consistently successful. I have a player has like ratings in the 90s, and he still can barely score in the game, and that's crazy. I've never had that issue in the past. I'd have a player that started out that was not very good, but once you built them up and built those skills up, they would progress and play better and better until they were playing at a all-star level. And even if you weren't that great on the sticks, you could still play consistently at an all-star level once your player had good enough ratings and whatnot. But this year, not the case. And this is the first time in years that I've ever had that issue with that game. So because of that, it's really killed my enjoyment of the series. And so I'm definitely not jumping on because 2K just announced that 2K23 is on the way, and if it plays anything like 22, I will not be buying it anytime soon. And a few other games that I play, Witcher, of course, the Witcher series. Look at my library because I kind of forget, Of course, have the Assassin's Creed games. I have Cyberpunk. I finished playing the Guardians of the Galaxies game. That's one of the best games of the year. Easily one of the best games of the year. Even though at times, what makes it both good and bad is that it plays on rails. And games that have mini games can be a bit annoying to me at times. But it's still a great game, in spite of those misgivings. I have Cyberpunk. And Cyberpunk is a game to me that, it had issues out of the box, but the gamers were way too harsh, in my humble opinion, about that. The studio did come back and make some corrections to the game, and it's a much better game than it was from where it started out at. But I think that should be a lesson to studios about hype and hyping up games too, because players today, I think, oftentimes have unrealistic expectations on what a game can and will be. We'll see on the Xbox side of things when Starfield comes out if that's going to be another situation like that. And I already think it is, because people already get hyping it up, and I think the hype is a bit much. Do I think it will be a phenomenal next gen game? Most definitely, but I still think people hype the games up too much these days, and then when they release them, they don't stand up to the hype, but there's no possible way it could. And this little trend with people harassing game developers these days. Don't like that at all either. Bills here. Alright, so we got the straw dropped off. And we want to grab a full load of hay. Let's see if we can do a better job of getting this whole thing sorted out this time. We're in position. We want to have a full load on the side, and then we want the smaller load into the front. So we want to grab the full load first and just go ahead and move that over here. I'm going to do unload bales. And that's my problem. That's how I ended up messing up earlier, is I struggled with which direction to move the bales when I'm trying to unload the bales. Unload bales here. Set. Operating position. This is my own fault that I disturbed the bales and ended up knocking the other bales that were already there around, which created the whole problem that I had in the first place. Let's see if we can, do better this time. Alright, transporting position. And also, see, I didn't leave myself that much room to work either back there. I have to be very careful trying to squeeze through when I come back through. In fact, alright, I did that completely wrong. In fact, the better way I can do that, I can lift up. Alright. Let's do it that way. Why are we dragging? Oh. I think I actually be better served by doing it this way. When I come through on this side, and then do the unload bales. Alright, drive up a little bit more. Unload bales here. Perfect. In fact, I could probably do that for both sets. Let's see. Operating position. Yeah, I think I will. So I'm going to come through the same way I just did for the previous set. I don't want to pull up too far, because if I do it too far, I'm going to totally disturb the other bales that I have. Alright, bring the camera in so I can kind of see better what I'm trying to do. And of course, since we're inside a building, the camera's going to jump around a lot. I'm going to do unload bales. There we go. That looks good. Unload bales here. Alright, much better. Alright, Alright, that was much more of a challenge than I intended it to be tonight, but we got it done. Alright, so we're done with the bells operation now, and we could return our bell loader to the shop. We won't be needing that anymore, so return that. And like I was saying earlier, before I got totally distracted in our with our bell problem tonight, I do believe we're gonna go ahead and just completely rework this grass field, starting from scratch. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now, we're gonna go ahead and plow it over, and then come back and replant our grass. So I need to grab my plow first. So we're just gonna do this whole piece over and just come back and replant. Alright, so I'm gonna drop that down and just turn the worker loose and plow through that whole field. And I think that will also kick up some stones. Let me check that out. Yeah, that's also going to give us stones, so I'm going to have to come through with the stone picker as well. Alright, so we'll leave that worker to his devices. And let's hop in the John Deere. And I wanted to drive over to my grape field real quick and check a few things. Alright, we got some stuff going on here that we need to do. We need to mulch. Definitely need to mulch here, but our grapes are growing, which is a good thing. So I'm going to bring the John Deere back over to its side part of the farm, and we're going to drop off our bell spikes. We won't be needing them anymore. And we'll go ahead and park our John Deere to the side. We won't be needing it at the moment. And let's bring the little Kubota into play. And we're looking for the mulcher attachment. I'm going to grab it. And drive over to our grape field. And do some mulching over in our grape field. And this mulching is all a manual process, and it's going to take some time to get done. And I'll probably just go ahead and do as much of that as I can off camera, so I won't have to sit through and watch me do all of that manually. Try to get through it and get as much of it done as I can, but this is all manual. You can't automate this with a worker. And it's a little bit of a tedious process. So I'll probably just go ahead and do that off camera. See, that's the result that we want. Like to see. And the grass is mulched. It has a less bushy or grassy look. And you have to do multiple passes between each hedgerow. Definitely gonna miss some spots. Like you can see, there's a section right at the start over here that didn't quite get well enough. And it's a little tricky trying to get that little piece cleared out. It does not seem to want to cooperate. I want to try to hug the vines as close as I can as I come through with the mulcher, so I minimize how many times I have to come through and kind of backtrack and clean up any areas that I miss. But it's looking good. You can visually see the difference between the areas that I mulched versus the areas that I haven't mulched yet. It's a lot less wild looking on the side that's been mulched. You see more earth on the ground versus what looks like wild grass between the hedges. Looks like a plow operator is finished, so we're gonna stop and take a look at what the work he's done in just a moment. like this little Kubota. It seems to get through the vine a little better than the Fendt did for whatever reason. So, okay, see a little patch or two that we missed right up front. Trying to see what side it's on. It looks like it's on that side. Got that one. Got that one. Got another one up there. Oh, that's good. All right. That's what we want to see. Yeah, but I definitely do most of this work off camera. Don't know if I get anything else off camera, but definitely go ahead and finish up the grapevine. Because I could do that kind of work in the dark. Don't need to do that. Just show you on camera me getting started doing it, and go ahead and finish that off camera. But that's the only other work we'll need to do in the grape field for right now. I'm still trying to contemplate and debate on what other things I can do in this area to kind of get my scores up as far as precision farming is concerned. As while it doesn't seem like precision farming was built to take into consideration the grape and the olive fields, there may be some ways that we can kind of work around those gameplay elements. I just got to figure that out and kind of game the game, if you will, to kind of manipulate the numbers so that they work in my favor. Taking into consideration how precision farming DLC currently works, or comes up with the numbers that it does. Alright. As long as I hug really close to the vines, I don't miss much at all with this Kubota tractor. And I was not having the same results with the Fendt that I previously owned. With this little Kubota, I can just run right along the absolute edge of the grapevines, and it doesn't seem to get stuck as much as the Fendt did. All right, but you get the idea what we got going on here. So get that turned around. I'm just gonna park it here for the moment, and we'll come back to this setup in just a moment. Let's hop over to our worker with the plow. The lights turned on because it's getting dark, and I know it's kind of difficult to see once night rolls in. And this map is not brightly lit at night. Alright, so I just want to take a look at what the heads-up display is telling me. So we're all plowed. So I can just come back through with the planter and just need to make sure we don't miss any areas next time when we get ready to plant. And then I use a direct drill planter. And also just keep an eye on my pH and nitrogen levels as well. Like, what does that show me when I get on the field? It's saying that pH is bad. So we will So we will drop some lime on this field as well. In fact, we'll just go through the whole process just for overkill. Alright, every time after we use a piece of equipment, we always want to come through and do our maintenance as well as the maintenance on the tractor. Try to keep it up in tip-top shape. And I did discuss earlier in this stream about buying a Kubota tractor. We won't get into that tonight. I'll probably do that on our next live. We'll just go through that whole process. Even though we did actually buy one Kubota, I want to buy a larger Kubota tractor. So we'll do that on the next stream. Replace one of my tractors I currently own with a Kubota branded one. And why is that not showing in the shop? There we go. Repair. Repair. Done there. And I'm not worried about the cosmetics right now, so I'm not going to clean the tractor or the plow or anything. That's just... well, I guess I will. Just for general purpose, we'll go ahead and clean it off. Alright, so let me grab the pressure washer. Alright, so turn on some lights so y'all can see what I'm doing. And we'll get them all cleaned up. Get our equipment all cleaned up and drop it back off. Alright, but we're coming up on the end of the stream right now. And I just want to say thanks for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed yourself tonight. I most certainly have. I hope you've had fun, and we'll get back at it on our next stream, which will be on Wednesday night, Bose31 Gaming, live on Twitch. Please follow me on Twitch, Bose831 Gaming, on Instagram, Bose831 Gaming, Facebook, Bose831 Gaming, YouTube, Bose831 Gaming. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on either platform. I upload these live streams in their entirety to my YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as I always say, if you're not having fun doing what you do, then what are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. As always, your support is appreciated. And I will catch you on the flip side next stream. See you until then. Have fun. And good night. And again, just to summarize, when we come back in on the next stream, we'll be moving on to the next business day, which will be the first day in May. We'll get our, in fact, I'll go ahead and plant the grass off camera. We'll go ahead and get that grass down and get the grass back growing. We'll finish mulching. I also finish mulching off camera for my grapevines, and we'll just come back in and pick it up from there. But thanks for tuning in. Everyone have a great night. Catch you on the flip side.